penalty is indicated there, and that the provisions of the act are subject to the severability clause. I just put that in. You're protected by the severability clause, meaning if any provision is struck down, the whole document does not get struck down. So I don't know if the council wants to deal with that at the next meeting, or at least add the police. You want to do all that at the next meeting, or do you want to at least add the police comments in now?
It doesn't matter whether we do it
Doesn't
tonight or we
matter.
add it.
No. What I can do is I can submit it to you for the next meeting with the police comments.
With those additions to it.
And then
We can ratify the second reading as amended.
As amended.
We can make any
a
of these corrections that we just discussed, but if we want that fee to be 75 or 300, or whether we want a certain number, we can discuss all of that on second reading.
That's fine. We just wanted to either way that will need to be.
Unless you want to make those changes tonight.
No.
It's fluid.
You're talking about them now, they're on the record. Public, so yeah, we're going to add the
First reading.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
So, yes, technically we covered the July 1st, because we had the first meeting, we can continue this into July, whatever, is that correct?
You know, the state was saying, it's indicated they want this up and running by July 1st, but I'm sure the state is going to be, here's the point. If somebody were to come to town with a mobile food license from the state, we need to apply state law and provide a mechanism for them to get the license. Right now, being a hawkers and peddlers license, and we couldn't add anything other than what the state law says we can add. So it gets a little confusing, that's why we're adding a separate statute, but in a separate ordinance. We can make that, we can follow state law on July 1st, even if this isn't passed. We just have to be sensitive that we don't run afoul of state law, that's all.
For anybody that wants to do business in the town, files first, gets their approval from the, comes here, and gets a permit, it's good for the whole year.
Right.
It's not good for just the one-day event.
Unless
Unless it's on.
I don't think you would, I don't know if your hawkers and peddlers provides for an event. I don't have that at the top.
They get a license, it's good for the whole
Whole
year,
year.
even if they only come one day. It's still. Okay.
I'd like to ask a question. Does this ordinance apply to town roads and property and whatever, or is this also to the homeowner? Like if I have a party in my yard, a family gathering, and I hire a food truck to come in to provide that, would it apply to me as a personal homeowner?
That's private estate.
By state law.
Well, that would be catering, that's a private event though, right?
No, catering is not a food truck.
But
Yes, it should be.
Some
It
could
could be.
But if it is, then it has to happen.
Then it has to have that license.
Absolutely, that's a big thing.
Mr. President, just so we understand what's happening here, the Department of Health is regulating those vehicles to make sure that they are not
Safe
hazardous
and
for
healthy.
disease. That's what it's about. We're just an aside, location, time, hours, and noise.
And a permit.
And permit. So that's safety, but we're not really, this is really being driven by the state. They want to make sure that the food quality,
Yes.
that
Chief?
Mr. Igliozzi, if I could, if you could send me a copy of that, because I want to make sure that that includes our end of it too. I know that the fire marshal and that the new state fire code is, that pertains to food trucks. Make sure that there's not something we may want to add as well into the ordinance. I know the state fire marshal's office, I believe they started that process of inspecting everybody back in January or February. So, they have to have.
Mr. President, I'm happy to do that, but this is exactly why I didn't send it to them. We cannot, our fire department cannot regulate these vehicles. Only the state can regulate them. We just have, they walk in with that
The
permit.
state fire marshal.
That's right. The state is taking over the regulation of the safety, health, and I'll send it to you, but we're not going to be able to add anything in our ordinance to give you any control.
Okay, yeah, but the town's fire marshal is a certified deputy assistant state fire marshal who could go and inspect these trucks. I believe by fire code, he can go and inspect
Only if
them.
he's doing it pursuant to state law, not pursuant to
Correct.
what we do.
Correct,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
We can't add that in here. That's what I'm saying. We can't add that in.
Okay,
Not that the state's not thinking about that, they're just not giving us the authority to do it.
okay.
So we'll send
I'll do
copies.
that.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I need a roll call vote. First reading.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on amendment to Code of Ordinance, Section 11-7, increasing the number of retail alcohol beverage licenses. I did talk with the town clerk, and she did tell me that right now, we currently have one open liquor license, and we have two potential applicants looking for licenses, correct?
Correct.
So we need to either deny somebody or add to the number. Because our ordinance says 11, and we would, with those two, we would go to
Does it say
12.
11 or 10?
Huh?
Does it say 10 right now?
Right now, it's
It
11.
says 11. In this, it says 11.
Yeah. 11.
There's 11 right now, but there's a potential to be 12.
Well, just, David, I see what you're saying. Just say an amendment, it says 11, so do we have the exact word?
So was
I know
it
we-
10 and this amendment would make
I
it
don't know.
11?
No, I put it, I wrote this.
Okay.
And I put it in 11 because that's what we have.
Okay.
That's what we
Currently,
currently, that's what we currently have is
Okay.
11. But we have potential for 12 establishments looking for a license.
Oh, 13.
No,
It's two more,
no,
two
we
more
have
vying for
we have one open.
Got it, but
We have
two
one
vying
open
for it.
and two vying, correct, so we
Yeah.
need to at least increase it to one.
Or just leave it at 11.
Or leave it at 11, or waive it and say we can have unlimited number.
I don't think you should leave it, you should.
Oh, I'm just,
I think the
those are your
council
options,
should always
I'm
put
not
a
saying
number
it's
on
my
it.
option,
Oh,
I'm
all
just
right.
saying it's an option you could do. What would be the pleasure of the board?
So for my edification, Mr. President, there is one available, and we have two potential applicants seeking that one, which would exclude the other, of course. So we would go from 11 to 12. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Okay. Yeah, I don't have a problem moving it, but I don't want to see, sorry, but it was not correct terminology. I don't want to see a gin joint on every corner, you know. I just want to be very careful with this, especially with respect to, I'd have to get re-familiar with the permit process and not near churches, not near school. I mean,
Just so we're all aware, I can tell you the two locations. One is the Pines, is
Yeah.
looking to reopen.
Yeah.
Someone is looking to reopen the Pines.
Yep.
And someone is looking to reopen Cafe 900 up at the plaza.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the two sites. They're not new places. They're not new, they're
Yeah.
basically reopening old establishments on the new ownership.
No problem. Okay.
So yeah, we're not putting a new bar on corner of Maple Ave, the post office. So what is the pleasure of the board?
I'd make a motion, Mr. President, to increase the existing 11 class BV liquor license from the established current 11 to 12.
So the motion by Mrs. Zelinski to increase the number from 11 to 12. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion?
Do we think increasing by one really makes the most sense? I mean, do we foresee a situation in 2 or 3 months from now where
Yes.
maybe we have 2 or 3 more and then we're just...
They come before us. Then we
Right,
can go
but
again.
am I saying, should we increase it to maybe 15? So that way we're not like re-amending this thing every time and because I don't think we're really, sounds like we're in a position that we're going to be...
Main motion withdraws his motion. Again, withdraw my motion. Oh, point.
Yeah, I just don't want to
Second withdrawal.
revisit this every minute.
I would feel that.
It's a lot of work.
The motion is the second.
Good point.
I agree, because I think if
Sorry.
we're looking to bring more commercial or more businesses in, we have to increase that number to, say, 14 or 15, that they have the potential to come in and do that.
Yes, but I also want to not dilute, or, you know, I also want the ones that are established to get the revenue. If we have,
No,
if we
I
start to spread it
understand.
all out, you know. I like what Councilman Ogier, he was right, he was succinct in saying, instead of 12, I'd go to 13, because now we would refill those.
We still have one in
And
our,
have
one in our pocket.
available.
But I wouldn't go much more than that, because then you're opening yourself up, because if you have them available, pretty much have to grant them. This way here, we have tighter control on it.
We need more meal tax.
No, I'm not, that's why I'm all in favor of
Yeah.
getting these two places back open again, 1% and 1%.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
So is there a motion then, a new motion, since the original has been withdrawn?
13.
Is there a motion to move it up to 13?
So moved, Mr. President.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second? Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion?
This is just going to be first reading.
Just to change, yeah.
I didn't post this. Well, no, because I didn't know what number.
So we'll have to post it, not post it. Now that we know that you want to do it.
Okay, so we'll post as the first and then second.
So this is,
We weren't sure.
we continue with the vote to forward it to the go to an ordinance. So there's a motion to increase it to 13 retail alcohol beverage licenses and move it forward for first reading of the ordinance. That's the motion, right?
Yes.
And it was a second. Any other discussion? Call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. So we'll put that on for July then? Okay, thank you. And one meeting in July, right? Discussion by council vote or other action on abatements, Mr. DeJesus.
This is just an abatement for a vehicle that belongs to the city of Woonsocket.
Motion to approve, I don't know, maybe more discussion on that one. Motion to approve.
Recommendation is it would be $204.16. So motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on grant of easement to Narragansett Electric Company for property located at 83 Green Street and authorization for signature. We really don't have a lot of say in this. National Grid is who they are and they do what they want and they're going to put it where they want. All they need is an easement allowing them to do that. Task force would recommend that we grant this easement because even though we grant it today, we may not see any work on that job till September on this. So the sooner we get this easement and paperwork done, the sooner it gets into their wheels. So is there a motion to grant the easement and authorize the town administrator to sign it?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bonioli, is there a second? I will second for discussion. We really don't have a lot of say in this. You don't sign it, we don't get new power service it.
I might explain what's happening. This, the service to the new town hall will be through a ground-mounted transformer, and there's just no other option. The grid requires an easement so that they don't get caught in the middle of access control issues that get messy. So it's a typical arrangement that is required for these kinds of services.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. We'll get that process, Mr. Administrator.
Absolutely.
Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on the Department of Transportation condemnation of land easement for Great Road Bridge reconstruction. Mr. Ezovski.
I can repeat what I said on the last thing. This is, we own the land on which the railroad tracks, the town of Smithfield owns the land on which the railroad tracks exist. In order to be able to reconstruct the bridge, they need to document temporary access. That's what this document does.
Is there a motion to approve and authorize the administrator to sign land condemnation and easement for Great Road Bridge reconstruction?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Zelinski, second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes.